I had booked flights for the whole family, but at the airport, my daughter-in-law announced, "We've given your seat to my mother. The grandchildren adore her more." My son just nodded in agreement. I stayed quiet, nodded back, and walked away. A minute later, I did something that left them begging me to cancel their trip. Friends, before we get into the story, I have a small favor. If you enjoy true life stories and justice, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And drop a comment letting me know which city you're listening from. I always love knowing how far my voice reaches. Happy listening. Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport was alive with the kind of noise that hums like a stirred-up hive. For me, that sound stirred two emotions at once. On one hand, the thrill of travel. On the other, a quiet, creeping unease, the kind felt by someone my age who spent a lifetime managing every detail. I stood a little apart from the check-in counter, holding a leather folder tight against my chest. Inside were 5 passports and booking confirmations that had cost me half a year's returns from my careful investments. The Maldives. Azure Bay. Not just any resort, but a private, exclusive escape. I'd been arranging this for half a year. Officially, it was a holiday gift for my grandkids. But quietly, it was for my milestone. 65 years old. I didn't want parties, speeches, or the forced grins of distant relatives. I wanted the ocean, peace, and my family around me. I covered everything. Business class tickets, the seaplane ride, an overwater villa with its own infinity pool. I wanted Sterling, my son, to feel like royalty. And his wife, Valencia, to finally let go of her constant talk of exhaustion. But now, standing beneath the cold terminal lights, I could sense the atmosphere growing thick, like the stillness before a storm. Sterling stood a short distance off, glued to his phone. He rocked slightly on his heels, tugging at his collar now and then. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Ever since the Uber Black dropped us off that morning, he'd been quiet. I figured it was just nerves. Men can get tense before a flight, even if they don't admit it. Valencia, though, was acting different. She was whispering. Huddled near her mother, Odessa, she spoke in fast, hushed tones behind her hand. Odessa, my son's mother-in-law, was hard to miss, loud, flashy, draped in leopard print and gold bangles that clinked at every gesture. Her being here puzzled me. I hadn't included her. My budget covered 5. Me, Sterling, Valencia, and the twins, my grandkids. When Odessa showed up at the terminal wheeling a massive suitcase, I thought she'd just come to see the little ones off. That was her style. Make a scene, shed a few farewell tears, dish out advice no one asked for. But the suitcase was too bulky for a simple send-off, and clipped to it was a priority tag. Miss Odessa Vaughan. Valencia's voice cut through my thoughts. She was smiling, but her eyes stayed cool and sharp. She wore a pricey cream-colored outfit, the kind I suspected came from the money I'd given Sterling for his business. "It's time." Check-ins open. We moved toward the desk. The twins, 7-year-old Cairo and Zee, chased each other around the luggage, oblivious to the unease tightening the air. A cold knot formed in my chest. My instincts, sharpened by years as a chief financial officer, whispered, "Something's off. Look closer." But I pushed it away. This was family. My son. My blood. The agent at the counter, neat in her airline uniform, greeted us with a polite smile. "Good afternoon. I'll need your passports." I stepped forward, ready to pull them from my folder, but Valencia slid in front of me smoothly, nudging me aside with her shoulder as if by accident. "Here you are," she announced brightly, placing a stack of passports on the counter. I went still. I saw only 4 dark blue covers. My passport stayed inside my folder. The 5th one Valencia handed over with a satisfied grin. I didn't recognize it. Was Odessa's passport. "Valencia," I said quietly. My voice didn't shake, but inside me, everything crumbled. "You've made a mistake. That's your mother's passport. I have mine right here." Valencia turned to face me slowly. Her expression shifted into one of mournful sympathy, the kind people use when delivering bad news they've been secretly hoping for. "Oh, Miss Eulalia." She used that overly familiar tone she only pulled out when she wanted something. "We talked it over. We decided it would be better if Odessa came instead. The terminal buzzed around us. A flight to Dubai was being called. Someone laughed. A child cried. But for me, everything went silent. What do you mean, better asterisk? I asked, my eyes fixed not on her, but on my son. Sterling kept staring at the floor, studying the toes of his expensive loafers like they held the secrets to the universe. Well, you must understand, Valencia whispered, lowering her voice as if to spare my feelings. It's a 14-hour flight. Your blood pressure. Last month you mentioned a migraine. And the climate there, so humid. Doctors say sudden changes aren't good at your age. My blood pressure is fine, I said flatly. And this is my birthday. Exactly. Odessa jumped in, adjusting the chunky necklace at her throat. Sweetheart, why put yourself through this? You can rest at home in peace, watch your programs. I'll handle the little ones. They're so used to me now. Cairo told me just yesterday, I want Grandma Odessa to come. She was lying. I could see it in the nervous glances the twins shot each other, suddenly quiet, sensing the tension. Sterling. I spoke his name like a final plea. He finally looked up. What I saw in his eyes was the thing I'd always feared, cowardice. I had raised him, shaped him, given him everything. But somewhere along the way, I'd made a terrible mistake. He wasn't a man. He was just an extension of his wife's will. Mom, come on, he muttered, shrugging. Val's right. It'll be too much for you. Odessa's got more energy, and the kids have more fun with her. Don't be upset, okay? We'll bring you something back. This is just better for everyone. For everyone. I looked at them. At Valencia, barely hiding her smirk. At Odessa, already picturing herself lounging by the pool at my villa. At my son, trading my presence for a quiet life. They had planned this. They knew I'd paid for everything. They knew I wouldn't cause a scene in public. They counted on my pride, my restraint, my habit of swallowing insults to keep the peace. To them, I was just a wallet with a pulse. I breathed out slowly. The anger that might have made another woman scream and cry cooled into something else, an icy clarity. It was private school tuition, the lease on his luxury SUV. I wasn't his mother. I was an ATM with a pulse. And today, that ATM decided to close for good. My finger hovered over the Family Access Management icon. Two names appeared, Sterling Vaughan and Valencia Vaughan. Their limits were set to *unlimited star. I almost laughed. Boundless love, translated into boundless credit. And they thought it would last forever. I tapped Edit Field, Credit Limit. I deleted the infinity symbol. I entered a single digit, 0, then I opened the recent transactions. There it was, the biggest charge of the day. $25,000, the resort prepayment. It had gone through 2 hours ago as a gift to family. In banking terms, that meant I had voluntarily covered their expenses. I selected Dispute Transaction. From the drop-down, I chose Unauthorized Overdraft, Classification Error. A warning flashed, changing this category will revoke the bank's guarantee to the merchant. The amount will be billed to the additional cardholder as personal debt. Confirm? I looked out the window. The plane lifted off, carrying them toward the paradise they had stolen. Yes, I said aloud, and tapped confirm star. The screen blinked green. Changes accepted. Additional cards deactivated. I knew exactly what would happen next. I could picture it as clearly as if I was sitting in the seat beside them. Somewhere up there, at 30,000 feet, a flight attendant in a red uniform would be pushing the drink cart. In business class, alcohol was included, but Sterling always liked to show off, ordering something special not on the menu. A bottle of Cristal, please, he'd probably say, casually sliding his platinum card across the counter. Valencia would already be angling her phone for a selfie, and Odessa would be loudly praising the service, hoping the neighbors heard. The flight attendant would insert the card. A pause. Sterling would smile, anticipating that first sip of freedom. Then the terminal would beep. Short. Sharp. Red. I'm sorry, sir. The flight attendant's voice would cool slightly. Your card was declined. Sterling would laugh it off. Nonsense. Must be a glitch. Try again, it's unlimited. She would. Same result. Sir, the bank is blocking the transaction. Do you have another form of payment? His smile would vanish. He'd feel the other passengers glancing his way. He'd reach for the backup card, the one I'd given Valencia for groceries and school supplies. Try this. Another pause. Another beep. Declined. Sir, insufficient funds. This is a bank error. His voice would crack. I have millions in there. Unfortunately, I can't provide the service. And I'll need you to settle the tab for the snacks you've already opened, in cash. Otherwise, upon arrival, local authorities may need to get involved. I finished the cognac in one long swallow, feeling the burn settle into something cold and certain. The plane was just a speck now, disappearing into the clouds. Their flight had barely begun, and they were already crashing. I paid in cash, left a generous tip, and walked toward the exit. My phone stayed silent. No service at 30,000 feet. I had a few more hours of peace. I found my car in long-term parking and eased onto the highway toward the city. The interior smelled of leather and my usual perfume, but underneath, I caught a phantom scent, tropical humidity and salt, the Maldives I'd never see with them. I knew what was unfolding on the other side of the world. At Valana International Airport in Mail, they landed. Sterling, Valencia, the twins, and Odessa stepped out of the air-conditioned cabin into the thick, suffocating heat. After the card fiasco on the plane, their mood was rattled but not shattered. Sterling, master of denial, had convinced himself and his wife it was just a technical hiccup. A bank security glitch. Something I'd fix the moment I saw their missed calls. They cleared passport control and made their way to the transfer desk for the Azure Bay Hotel. Normally, guests at this level were greeted with chilled lemongrass towels and fresh coconuts. The captain of the private launch, immaculate in his white uniform, was supposed to personally take their luggage. But not today. The captain stood with his arms folded, staring not at them but at his tablet. Mr. Vaughan, he asked, not bothering to fake a welcome. Yes, that's us. Valencia stepped forward, adjusting her wide-brimmed hat. We had a small misunderstanding on the plane, but we're so relieved to finally, your reservation has been cancelled. The captain didn't look up. Silence. The noise of arriving tourists, the slap of water against the pier, everything suddenly grew deafening. Cancelled? Sterling's voice cracked. Do you have any idea who my mother is? Ilya Vaughan. The captain finally raised his eyes. The primary account holder. Madame Ulia revoked authorization 40 minutes ago. His gaze held the weary patience of someone who'd seen too many rich men watch their credit cards turn to pumpkins. I cannot take you aboard. The launch is for confirmed guests only. Valencia's face flushed an ugly red against her white linen dress. You have no right. Her voice rose, drawing stares. I'll sue. This is extortion. We have children. You have to take us. I have to follow the bank's instructions, madam. The captain turned to the next group of tourists, offering them the warm smile he denied Sterling. Please, welcome to paradise. Odessa, who'd been silently fanning herself, let out a theatrical groan. I'm going to faint. Val, do something. My heart. And where is that blasted boat? I won't stand here in this heat. Sterling jabbed frantically at his phone. Mom's not answering. Panic bled into his voice. It rings, but she won't pick up. She's doing this on purpose. Valencia kicked her suitcase. That old witch is just trying to punish us. She'll stew for an hour, then turn the money back on. She can't stand being alone. Sterling wiped sweat from his forehead. Okay. Stay calm. It's just a glitch. We'll get to the hotel ourselves and sort it at reception. The manager knows me. He scanned the harbor. Sleek speedboats ferried happy tourists toward paradise. For them, only one option remained. There. Sterling pointed to a rickety pier where backpackers and locals crowded onto a battered ferry. It smelled of diesel and old fish. Wooden benches. Peeling paint. No air conditioning. I am not riding in that, Odessa declared, nose wrinkled in disgust. We don't have a choice, Mama. Valencia snapped. Get on, or sleep at the airport. They boarded under the brutal sun. Valencia broke a nail hauling her mother's massive suitcase. No porters here. The twins whined for water and a bathroom. Sterling wedged onto a hard bench, praying no one he knew would see him on this floating disgrace. 90 minutes of pounding across waves. Salt spray ruined Valencia's blowout and Odessa's makeup. When the ferry finally docked at Azure Bay's service pier, far from the grand entrance, they looked like castaways. No drummers greeted them. Only Mr. Rashid, the hotel manager, stood waiting, a folder in his hand. His expression was all business. Mr. Vaughan. A curt nod. We didn't expect you on this flight. But since you're here, Rashid. Sterling lunged toward him like a drowning man. Thank God. There's been a banking mistake. My mother mixed something up. Just give us the villa keys. We'll sort the payment after we shower. Rashid didn't move. He opened the folder. I'm afraid that's impossible, sir. The corporate club member, Miss Ulia Vaughan, is not present for check-in. The terms of your reservation are void. The friends and family discount no longer applies. Valencia froze. What difference does it make if she's here? A significant difference, madam. It's a condition of the contract. Without her, you are ordinary guests. And given the high season, Rashid paused, savoring the moment. The rate has been recalculated at the current price. $3,000 per night. Payment in full, upfront, for the entire stay. 3*1000*. Odessa's eyes bulged. That's robbery. One more thing. Rashid ignored her. Your overwater villa has been reassigned to guests with confirmed prepayment. We have 2 standard rooms left, garden view, adjacent to the generator. Sterling went pale. He stood on the pier, shirt soaked with sweat, listening to the distant hum of machinery. For the first time, he seemed to grasp that his mother's whim might cost far more than a spoiled afternoon. We don't have that kind of cash, he whispered. Rashid smiled politely, coldly. Then I suggest you wait for the return ferry. It departs tomorrow morning. At that moment, I was pulling into my driveway in Buckhead. The quiet of the suburban evening was exactly what I needed. I knew my phone was probably exploding with messages, but I wasn't in a hurry to check. First, mint tea. And repotting the ficus. It had been cramped in its old pot for too long, just like me. I stepped into my empty house, kicked off my heels, and let the cool hardwood floor soothe my feet. It felt wonderful. Feeling of a home that now belonged only to me. No children screaming, no Valencia complaining, no TV blaring at all hours because Sterling couldn't stand silence. I went into the kitchen, put the kettle on, and grabbed a bag of potting soil. The ficus in the corner of the living room really did look sad, roots pushing through the drainage holes, desperate for more space. While the water heated, I pulled my phone from my bag. The screen lit up, casting a pale glow across the dark kitchen. 37 missed calls. 12 voicemails. A flood of texts. I opened Valencia's messages. They came in a frantic waterfall. Caps lock, exclamation points, pure hysteria. Asterisk, Mama, what are you doing? They won't check us in. They want a $40,000 deposit. The cards don't work. You blocked everything. The kids are crying. You're punishing your own grandchildren. Pick up. Odessa is having a heart attack. Asterisk, I smiled. A heart. Sweat, listening to the distant hum of machinery. For the first time, he seemed to grasp that his mother's whim might cost far more than a spoiled afternoon. We don't have that kind of cash, he whispered. Rashid smiled politely, coldly. Then I suggest you wait for the return ferry. It departs tomorrow morning. At that moment, I was pulling into my driveway in Buckhead. The quiet of the suburban evening was exactly what I needed. I knew my phone was probably exploding with messages, but I wasn't in a hurry to check. First, mint tea. And repotting the ficus. It had been cramped in its old pot for too long, just like me. I stepped into my empty house, kicked off my heels, and let the cool hardwood floor soothe my feet. It felt wonderful. Feeling of a home that now belonged only to me. No children screaming, no Valencia complaining, no TV blaring at all hours because Sterling couldn't stand silence. I went into the kitchen, put the kettle on, and grabbed a bag of potting soil. The ficus in the corner of the living room really did look sad, roots pushing through the drainage holes, desperate for more space. While the water heated, I pulled my phone from my bag. The screen lit up, casting a pale glow across the dark kitchen. 37 missed calls. 12 voicemails. A flood of texts. I opened Valencia's messages. They came in a frantic waterfall. Caps lock, exclamation points, pure hysteria. Asterisk, Mama, what are you doing? They won't check us in. They want a $40,000 deposit. The cards don't work. You blocked everything. The kids are crying. You're punishing your own grandchildren. Pick up. Odessa is having a heart attack. Asterisk, I smiled. A heart attack hadn't stopped Odessa from demanding an upgrade to the business lounge an hour ago. I sipped my tea. Then I opened my photos, found the contract I'd signed 6 months ago, and zoomed in on the fine print on page 3. I circled the clause in red. Asterisk, asterisk, NN refundable. NN transferable. Asterisk, asterisk, I sent it to Valencia with a short message. Asterisk, sweetheart, the ticket was in my name. You decided to use it differently. Now you manage your own vacation. Have a pleasant evening. Asterisk, I set the phone down, but not to relax. I was just getting started. The ficus could wait. I had bigger weeds to uproot. I opened my laptop. I knew the password to the family cloud, though Valencia assumed I was a grandmother with a flip phone soul. Never mind that I'd set up their entire home network. In the documents folder, I found what I needed. Scan deeds. An office in Midtown Atlanta, 1,200 square feet, prestigious business center, panoramic windows, oak furniture. Sterling called it the headquarters of his consulting empire. He loved taking friends there, pouring whiskey, holding forth on market trends. But the owner field said asterisk asterisk Ulia Vaughan asterisk asterisk. I'd bought it 5 years ago. When Sterling wanted to start his business, I'd put it in my name. Insurance, I told him. Legally safer this way. He hadn't argued, too busy picking out a leather director's chair. Next to it, the title for his black Escalade. Also mine. I opened my email. A draft to my attorney waited. I attached the documents and hit send. The message was brief. Asterisk, Dear Mr. Roberts, please prepare transfer documents for the property at address and the vehicle to a real estate LLC for immediate liquidation. You have power of attorney. Act now. Asterisk, this wasn't just a financial blow. It was a strike at Sterling's identity. Without that office, he was no one. Without that car, he was a pedestrian. His whole life was a stage set built on my foundation, and I just pulled the foundation out. I picked up my phone and typed to my son, asterisk Sterling, I've been thinking. At my age, it's time to simplify. I've decided to sell the office. Since you're such a successful businessman, you can rent your own space, or work from home. You have 24 hours to collect your personal items. Then the locks will be changed. Asterisk send. 6,000 miles south, Sterling stood in the hotel lobby, clutching his phone, trying to catch a weak Wi-Fi signal. Chaos swirled around him. Valencia was screaming at Rashid, demanding to speak to corporate. Odessa had collapsed onto a suitcase, fanning herself with a brochure, announcing loudly that Jamaica had never treated her this way. The twins tugged at their father's pants. Daddy, we're hungry. Daddy, when can we go to the pool? Sterling swatted them away like gnats. His phone beeped. He read the message. His face, already pale, went grey. What? Valencia froze mid-rant. Did she fix it? Sterling looked up. His eyes held something worse than fear, the dawning horror of a man who realizes he's standing on a cliff edge with no parachute. The office, he croaked. She's selling the office. What office? Valencia blinked. Your office. It's not mine, Valencia. His voice cracked, rising to a squeak. It was never mine. She put everything in her name. The car too. She's selling it all. Right now. Are you asterisk stupid asterisk? Valencia snatched the phone. How could you let her do that? You told me you owned it. I thought it was a formality. She's my asterisk mother star. Your mother is a monster. Valencia shoved the phone back at his chest. She's destroying us. Without that office, the bank won't give you the expansion loan. You put it up as collateral. Sterling grabbed his head and slid down the wall, landing on the cold marble floor. If she sells, they'll demand early repayment. I have a cash flow problem. They'll bankrupt me. Odessa stopped fanning herself. Her voice hardened. So there's no money? None at all? Mama, wait, call her. Odessa pointed at Sterling. Call and beg. Get on your knees. Record a video. Do whatever it takes. Stop the sale. Sterling's trembling fingers pressed asterisk call star. In my kitchen, the phone screen lit up, asterisk sun star. I let it ring. Took another sip of tea. Perfect temperature. Delicious. Earl Grey, perfectly steeped. I didn't answer. Let him suffer. Let him understand. The lesson had only just begun. The phone fell silent for a moment, then exploded again. Valencia. Then Sterling. Then an unknown number, Odessa, no doubt. I switched it to silent, turned the screen face down, and went back to my ficus. Hands in the soil, the smell of damp earth and peat. It was grounding. Creative. Unlike the last 20 years I'd spent raising parasites. 6,000 miles away, paradise had curdled into something foul. They'd been sitting in the lobby for 3 hours. The air conditioning blasted, but it didn't touch the heat rising between them. Sterling slumped on the floor, head in his hands. Valencia paced from the check-in counter to the exit, heels clicking like a metronome winding toward breakdown. We can't sit here forever. She stopped dead in front of her husband. Do something. Are you a man or a mop? What do you want me to asterisk do asterisk, Valencia? Sterling's eyes were red-rimmed, wild. My card is maxed out. The office is being sold. My mother won't answer. Rashid materialized beside them, patience evaporated. Ladies and gentlemen. The lobby is closing for nightly cleaning. You must leave the premises. Where are we supposed to asterisk go asterisk? Odessa's voice hit a pitch that turned heads. Into the street? At night? With children? You animals. I can call security if you refuse to vacate, Rashid said flatly. Or you may pay for the rooms. We don't asterisk have asterisk money. Sterling snarled. Then I suggest the public beach. Rashid pointed toward the exit. There are benches. The end. The illusion shattered. The beautiful life, gone. They stumbled out into the thick tropical night. Humidity wrapped around them like wet wool. Mosquitoes, usually poisoned into oblivion on hotel grounds, swarmed with vicious freedom beyond the perimeter. Odessa stopped dead on the sand and held her handbag down. This is asterisk your asterisk fault. She jabbed a finger at her daughter. Asterisk you asterisk said take mama's ticket. Asterisk you asterisk said she's old, she won't mind. Now look at us. Bums in the Maldives. Asterisk me asterisk. Valencia's voice climbed toward hysteria. You whined for a week. Oh, I want to see the ocean. Oh, let me warm my old bones. Asterisk you asterisk suggested it. I suggested it? You asterisk snake asterisk. Odessa lunged at her daughter. You've always been greedy, just like your father. I told you, don't push the mother-in-law until the will is signed. And you? Valencia spat. You said she'd swallow it. She's a pushover, you said. She'll get over it. The twins sat on their suitcases, crying quietly. They were hungry, exhausted, confused. Grandma Odessa, who usually stuffed them with candy, had transformed into a shrieking stranger. Shut up! Sterling roared, the first time he'd ever raised his voice at his mother-in-law. Both of you! This was asterisk your asterisk idea. Asterisk you asterisk pushed this. Asterisk I asterisk pushed. Valencia's laugh was ugly. You stood there like a lamb. Yes, mommy. Whatever you say, mommy. You're a coward, Sterling. You're nothing without your mommy's money. She'd hit the mark, and they both knew it. Sterling grabbed his phone and dialed. When I didn't pick up, he left a voice message. I listened to it 10 minutes later, after washing the soil from my hands. His voice cracked, dissolved into sobs. Behind him, waves crashed and Valencia screamed. Mama. Mommy, please. Forgive us. We're idiots. We understand now. We have nowhere to sleep. The kids are hungry. Odessa has lost her mind, she's attacking Valencia. Please. Unblock the cards. Just for food. Just for return tickets. We'll come home and I'll work it all off, I swear. Cancel the sale of the office. I'll die without it, Mama. We're * family star. I sat in my quiet kitchen, looking out at the dark window. * family. * such a beautiful word. I pressed * call star. He answered instantly. Mama. Mama, thank God. Did you get my message? Do you forgive us? Hello, Sterling. My voice was light, almost cheerful. Why are you whispering? I stepped away so they wouldn't hear. Mama, it's *hell here. Please. Fix this. Fix this? I pretended to consider. But sweetheart, you said it yourself at the airport. The grandchildren love Odessa more. Doesn't grandma's love keep you warm? Can't she feed you? Mama, don't mock me. Odessa is a monster. She only cares about herself. Really? I sounded genuinely surprised. And here I thought she was the perfect grandmother. Energetic. Fun. Not like me, old and sick. A pause. By the way, Sterling, I can't talk long. I'm busy. Busy? It's 2 a.m. there. I'm meeting with a realtor. I lied smoothly, the meeting was in the morning, but he didn't need to know that. We have an urgent offer. A buyer for your, my office. Very motivated. Good price for a quick sale. No. Mama, no *. Don't sell. That's the end. This isn't the end, Sterling. This is the beginning of your independent life. You always wanted to be independent. Here's your chance. Mama, how do we get home *? We don't have return tickets. You cancelled them. Well, Odessa is resourceful. Let her figure it out. Maybe she can sell those gold bangles, they must be worth something. Silence. Mama, please, good night, son. Or good morning. I lose track with the time zones. Oh, and give my love to Valencia. Tell her I appreciate her concern for my blood pressure. It's perfect right now. I hung up. My heart was steady. My hands were still. I felt a strange lightness, as if I'd dropped a backpack of rocks I'd been carrying for decades. They were on a beach, devouring each other like spiders in a jar. I was here. In my silence. Drinking tea. Planning tomorrow. And in that plan, there was no room for them. I went to bed, but sleep didn't come. Not from guilt. My conscience had never been clearer. Just adrenaline, the same current that had carried me through years of building a career, humming in my veins again. I knew the morning would bring an even better show. Interesting. Did they really stay on the beach all night? Of course not. Pride is one thing, but mosquitoes and dampness have a way of deflating even the most inflated egos. They found the cheapest motel near the airport, a grimy dive with a rattling fan instead of air conditioning and cockroaches the size of a thumb. I knew this because Sterling sent me a photo of their dinner. Styrofoam cups filled with hot water and instant noodles. In the background, Odessa sat on a sagging cot, her expression that of a deposed empress surveying her fallen kingdom. At exactly 9 a.m., my phone rang. Video call. Sterling. I answered. I was in my favorite armchair, wearing a silk robe, a cup of freshly brewed coffee in hand. Soft jazz played in the background. On the screen appeared a picture that might have moved any maternal heart. Any heart but mine. Not today. Sterling looked wrecked, unshaven, hollow-eyed, still in the same wrinkled shirt. Beside him, Valencia squeezed into frame, her face swollen from crying but her eyes burning with desperate, angry fire. Miss Ulia. Valencia didn't bother with hello. Her voice shook, but she fought to keep it steady. We need to talk. Seriously. Without drama. I'm listening. I took a slow, deliberate sip of coffee, letting the aroma linger. Look at this. She swung the camera around, showing the room. Peeling walls. Stained floor. A narrow window with rusted bars. These are inhumane conditions. The children are sleeping on one mattress with us. Cairo has a rash from bug bites. Do you understand what you're doing? You're not punishing us. You're punishing your grandchildren star. I'm not punishing anyone, Valencia. My voice was calm. I simply stopped funding your lifestyle. You're adults. You chose to fly without me. You decided who would take my seat. Now you get to decide where you sleep. That's called responsibility star. Responsibility. Her voice cracked, control slipping. This is cruelty star. You're a sadist. How can you be so heartless? We're family star. Family? I set my cup down. The clink of porcelain against wood was sharp as a gunshot. Valencia, let's talk math. I love numbers. Unlike you, they never lie. I picked up a notepad from the side table, notes I'd made the night before. I did some calculations, I continued, meeting her eyes through the screen. Over the last 10 years, I've invested approximately $2 million in your family. The apartment, cars, vacations, clothes, school fees, Sterling's business. Sterling shrank into himself. Valencia's mouth opened, but I wasn't finished. 2 million. In investment terms, Valencia, that's what we call a non-performing asset star. I invested hoping for returns. Not in money, in respect. In love. In care. And what did I get? I paused. You gave my ticket to your mother. 0 yield. Total default. It's always about money with you. Valencia burst out. What about feelings Feelings? I laughed softly. All right. Let's talk about feelings. And about your care. I shifted my gaze to Sterling. Sterling, do you remember that account we opened 3 years ago? The rainy day fund? You transferred $500 a month from the money I gave you for business development. Sterling blinked. Yeah, it's for the kids. College. Untouchable. Untouchable. I turned back to Valencia. Her face had gone pale as the motel wall. Valencia, why don't you tell your husband where that money is now? I don't know what you're talking about, she stammered, looking away. No. I held up another sheet, a bank statement. Last transaction. 2 weeks ago. $4,000. Louis Vuitton, Lenox Square. The silence in that motel room was absolute. Even through the screen, I could feel the air turn thick and dangerous. Slowly, Sterling turned to his wife. Valencia. His voice was quiet. Terrifying. You took money from our children's account. Sterling, listen, she backed away, bumping into the iron bed frame. I just borrowed it. I needed to look the part. You want me to represent us well, don't you? I bought the suitcases so would arrive in the Maldives properly star. Suitcases Sterling shot to his feet. You bought suitcases with college money? The same suitcases sitting in this Roach motel right now? It was an investment she shrieked. In our image. Image? Sterling grabbed his hair. We're eating instant noodles and you're carrying $5,000 luggage. And you? Valencia pivoted, a cornered animal lashing out. You've never earned a dime in your life. You live off your mommy's handouts. You're a gigolo Sterling. A gigolo. At least I tried. What have you ever done? I watched this with the detached curiosity of an entomologist observing specimens under glass. The masks had fallen. The loving wife was a thief. The devoted mother had drained her children's future for designer luggage. And my son finally saw who he was sharing a bed with. Stop, I said quietly. They stopped. Sterling. I looked directly at my son. Now you know the truth. Your wife steals from you. Your mother-in-law despises you. And I'm closing up shop. All powers of attorney cancelled. All accounts closed. No more funding. You on your own. Wait. Sterling grabbed the phone, his face twisted with desperation. I'll divorce her. I'll do anything. Just get us out of here. Whether you divorce or not is your business. My voice was calm, final. But I won't give you money. You have hands, feet, and a brain. Figure it out. You're a businessman. I reached for the end call button, then paused. Oh, and Sterling? Ask Valencia where the rest of that money went. There should have been more than the cost of those suitcases. Valencia froze. Her eyes darted to the corner of the room, where Odessa sat on a chair covered with newspaper, suspiciously quiet, chewing a sandwich, trying to be invisible. Mama, Valencia whispered. You said you needed that money for your teeth. Odessa choked. I ended the call. The screen went dark. I leaned back in my chair. The puzzle clicked into place. Valencia stole from Sterling, and from me. Odessa stole from Valencia. A perfect cycle of parasitism. And I had just cut off their oxygen. Now they would really start eating each other. I hadn't even finished my coffee when my phone buzzed again. Not a call, a notification from Julian. Miss Vaughn, they've gone nuclear. Check YouTube. Link attached. I opened it. Valencia's face filled the screen. Disheveled, tear-streaked, clutching a frightened Zay against the peeling motel wall. The title read, Monster instead of grandma, how mother-in-law left grandchildren to die on the street. Please help us, Valencia sobbed, wiping tears with her sleeve. We're stranded in the Maldives. My mother-in-law, Ulia Vaughn, a wealthy Atlanta financier, lured us here and blocked all our cards. She wants us to starve. Look at these children, they haven't eaten properly in 2 days. She hiccuped, catching her breath. She's punishing us because we brought my elderly mother along. People, please share this. Let the world see what a monster she is. She swung the camera toward Odessa, who immediately assumed the position of a dying swan, one hand clutching her heart. I only wanted to see the ocean before I die, Odessa croaked. And she destroyed us. The video already had 10,000 views. Comments flooded in, horrifying. Lock that witch up. Poor babies. I felt heat rise to my face. Not fear, fury star. They were using children as shields, hoping public opinion would force me to surrender. They forgot who I am. I'm not some soft grandmother. I'm a CFO who survived the corporate wars of the 90s. I know how to take a hit, and how to hit back. I dialed Julian. You saw it? Just watched it. We're already preparing a response. We have all the statements. The chat logs. The screenshot of the non-refundable ticket contract you sent them. And, he paused meaningfully, I got footage from airport security. Valencia handing over your passport at check-in. The head of security owed me a favor. Release it all. Numbers, facts, timestamps. Let people see accounting, not tears. An hour later, Julian posted a response on my former firm's official page and sent a press release to every major outlet that had picked up Valencia's sob story. The headline, the price of free cheese, an expense report. No tears. Just slides. Bank statements, monthly allowance to son's family, $5,000. Ticket purchases, Maldives reservations, 5 passengers, $15,000, gift. Airport footage, Valencia Vaughn handing over her mother-in-law's passport, bypassing her at check-in. More statements, theft from Children's College Fund by Valencia Vaughn, $4,000, Louis Vuitton, handbags, cosmetics. Final slide, screenshot of Ulia Vaughn's message offering to sell the office, followed by her son's cursing reply. The effect was nuclear. Commenters who'd wanted me burned at the stake an hour ago now reversed course with whiplash speed. Wait, she stole from her own kids? Asterisk asterisk Granny Odessa is faking a heart attack on camera? Asterisk asterisk Ms. Vaughn, you're a saint for putting up with this circus. Asterisk asterisk kick them all to the curb. Let them figure it out. Asterisk meanwhile, 6,000 miles away, in a cockroach-infested motel, the final act was unfolding. Sterling, desperate and sweating, had his laptop open. He was trying to hack into his business accounts, hoping I hadn't locked everything down. Come on, he whispered, typing frantically. The screen flashed red. Asterisk asterisk access denied. Account blocked by Founders Initiative. Unauthorized access attempt logged. Asterisk asterisk no. He slammed the keyboard. Keys flew across the room. She closed asterisk everything asterisk. Valencia, scrolling through comments on her phone, went pale. Sterling. Her voice was small. They hate us. They're saying I'm a thief. They're calling Odessa a scammer. Odessa, who'd been pretending to doze, suddenly sat up. Her expression shifted, the theatrical frailty gone, replaced by something cold and calculating. She crossed to her suitcase, unzipped a hidden pocket, and pulled out a thick envelope. Mama? Valencia's eyes widened with desperate hope. Do you have a plan? I have asterisk this asterisk, Odessa muttered, opening the envelope. Inside lay a stack of $100 bills. Bills. A thick, satisfying stack. The very money Valencia had siphoned from the children's fund and entrusted to her mother for safekeeping, plus whatever Odessa had skimmed over years of living at my expense. Sterling's eyes lit up. Odessa! You saved us. How much is there? Enough for tickets. For one of us. Odessa's voice was flat. She looked at her son-in-law, then at her daughter, and there was nothing soft in her gaze, only the cold arithmetic of survival. 3,000. Just enough for one economy ticket on the next flight out. Valencia's mouth opened, then closed. Mama, but there are 5 of us. Then buy tickets for the children yourselves. Odessa tucked the envelope into her bra and zipped her purse. You're young. You'll earn it. I'm old. The stress is bad for my heart. I'm leaving. You're asterisk abandoning asterisk us. Valencia's voice rose to a shriek. The grandchildren? You said you loved them more than life itself. Love is love. Odessa grabbed her suitcase. But number one is number one. And frankly, Valencia, this is your mess. You shouldn't have poked the bear. She headed for the door. Stop! Sterling lunged. That's stolen money. That's my asterisk children's asterisk money. Odessa spun, nails extended like claws. Don't you dare touch me. I'll scream. I'll tell them you beat me. The police here don't play. You want to rot in a Maldivian prison? Sterling recoiled. He knew she meant it. Odessa walked out, slamming the door behind her. Through the thin walls, they heard her haggling with a taxi driver. Valencia slid down the wall and collapsed onto the filthy floor. Not crying, asterisk howling star. A raw, animal sound. Sterling stood frozen, staring at the closed door. The bottom they'd thought they'd hit yesterday? It was a lie. The real bottom was asterisk here star. No money. No shelter. A ruined name. 2 hungry children watching their parents with eyes that saw, for the first time, exactly who they were, weak, pathetic, and abandoned by the very people they trusted most. In Atlanta, I watched my laptop screen as the reputation graph for my family plunged into negative territory. I didn't care. I was booking a table for one at my favorite restaurant. 2 weeks later, I stood in the same airport. But the air felt different now. No anxiety. No obligation. Just the scent of good perfume and the lightness of freedom. I wore a crisp white pantsuit and a wide-brimmed hat that shaded my eyes from curious glances. Beside me sat a single, elegant carry-on, no circus of entitled relatives in sight. I waited in the Delta Sky Club, champagne in hand, nibbling canapés. Around me sat women like me, asterisk silver travelers asterisk, I'd learned to call us. Independent. Accomplished. Unanchored. I'd found this community online the very night of my reckoning. We were flying to Tuscany. Wine tasting. Painting classes. My phone buzzed. A message from Sterling. Asterisk happy birthday, Mima. Sorry it's late. We're home. Asterisk I didn't open the full thread. I already knew what followed. Complaints, excuses, pleas. Julian kept me updated, ensuring my name stayed clean. They'd returned 3 days ago. Borrowed from a predatory lender at insane interest because no legitimate bank would touch Sterling's ruined credit. Flown standby on 3 connections, slept on airport floors. Now they rented a cramped 2-bedroom in Stone Mountain. My house, the bright one where everyone had their own room, was under contract. The proceeds were already transferred to my Swiss pension fund. Valencia worked reception at a strip mall salon, her manicure filed down to nothing. Sterling, the great businessman, sold windows over the phone, learning for the first time what it meant to say the customer is always right. Odessa? She'd made it back, locked herself in her apartment, and changed the locks. Spent the stolen money on a spa retreat in Florida. I looked at my son's message. My finger hovered over asterisk reply star. What could I say? Asterisk thank you? Glad you're alive? Asterisk any reply would be a thread, something for them to grab, to pull, to climb back into my life. I pressed asterisk power off star. The screen went dark, reflecting my face. Calm. No worry lines. Ulia. A elegant woman with a champagne flute approached. Helena, our trip organizer. Boarding's called. Ready? Ready. I smiled and rose. We walked down the jet bridge, and every step felt like victory. I hadn't just saved money by canceling that trip. I hadn't just taught ungrateful children a lesson. I'd made the most important investment of my life. I bought myself back. My right to silence. My right to respect. My right to spend my earnings on what brought me joy. The plane lifted into the sky. Below, Atlanta shrank into a patchwork quilt stitched with highways. Somewhere down there, in a gray box of an apartment, my son was eating reheated soup, wondering how to make next month's rent. I turned from the window, accepted a glass of wine, and smiled at Helena. To new beginnings, she said. To my beginning, I corrected gently. And for the first time in decades, I meant it. The END loan payment. Perhaps he was angry at me. Perhaps he hated me. But for the first time in his life, he was living his life. Not mine. And maybe someday, in a year, or 5, or 10, he would understand that this was the most valuable gift I ever gave him. The gift of reality. The flight attendant paused beside me, tray extended. Champagne? Yes, please. I took the glass. Bubbles danced in the sunlight streaming through the cloud-dusted window. That trip to the Maldives would have cost me $50,000 and a truckload of stress. This ticket, to a new life, cost me only one difficult decision. And it was the best deal I'd ever made. I sipped the champagne. Ahead lay Italy. Ahead lay life star. And it belonged to me. That's the story, dear friends. Harsh? Yes. Unfair? Perhaps to some. I'm sure opinions will be divided. Some will say Ulia Vaughn acted too cruelly, abandoning her own flesh and blood, including small children, in a foreign country without a cent. After all, the grandchildren weren't responsible for their parents' greed. Can such a lesson be justified when the innocent suffer collateral damage? On the other hand, many of you are probably applauding. How long should anyone tolerate being used? How long should a person serve as an ATM for grown, able adults who not only show no gratitude but openly disrespect the hand that feeds them? Ulia didn't just close her wallet. She handed back something far more valuable, responsibility for their own lives. And isn't that, after all, the essence of parenting, even if it comes late? Did you enjoy the story? And which city are you listening from? Let's connect in the comments. If the story moved you, you can support the channel with a super thanks. It helps me keep bringing you more true life tales like this one. I'm truly grateful for your support and can't wait to read your thoughts. On screen now, you'll find 2 more life stories I highly recommend. And there's plenty more on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next story. With love and respect.